lot of those people listen on one of our 600 plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, go to RamseySolutions.com/show.
Alrighty, Ramsey Show ending. After show beginning. Just put my links in the chat. Then we'll get going here. What up, AJ? The original AJ. Not the other AJ. Alrighty, that's that. Make sure we're going here. Show number 276. AJ, you ready to sing that song that you didn't record a guitar track for me for? You ready? Ready to do that, AJ? Listen to the drum taps. Sing it even if you're not ready. Like all plans, it starts with step 1. $1,000 emergency fund. Step 2, you'll pay off all your debt. Step mortgage, we do not do that yet. So pay off your consumer debt. Every one of the charges, from smallest to largest. Now baby, step 3 is next. Full emergency fund of expenses. You stay gazelle intensive. His name is Dave Ramsey, and this is his plan. And I hope to meet him. I admire the man. I've messed up in my life, but these steps have made it right. That's why I go, that's why I go, and why I host this after show. If you don't like the way it's working out, you should do the baby steps. And if you want to have financial peace, then you should do Dave's baby steps. Now step 4 is when you can take a breath. Go, let's gazelle and invest. Step 5 is to save for your kid. No student loans at all for college. 6 is to pay off your home. Step 7, build your wealth and don't keep it all yourself. And you've lived like nobody else. And now you get to live large, and now you get to give large. His name is Dave Ramsey, and this is his plan. And I hope to meet him. I admire the man. I've messed up in my life, but these steps have made it right. That's why I go, that's why I go, and why I host this YouTube show. If you don't like the way it's working out, you should do the baby steps. And if you want to have financial peace, you should do the baby steps. Trumpet, take it home. Live from Columbus, OH. It's the Ramsey Show After Show. Here we talk about the Ramsey Show YouTube chat, and the people in it, and all things financial, and whatever else I want to talk about. I'm your host, Coach Steve Money. I'm a certified Ramsey Solutions financial coach, and you can schedule a free consultation / assessment at calendly.com. Coach Steve Money. The link is at the top of the chat and in the video description below. You can email me about anything. Yes, anything. Coach Steve Money at gmail.com. You can reach me on Instagram at Coach Steve Money, no spaces. Add me on the ground. You can donate to the channel so I can make it better at paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. Let's move that over there and check in on the chat. What did she ask, AJ? I told her it was a video, not a call. It's a live video, though, so you can type it in the question. Oh, was she talking to me? And oh, that's cute. What was she asking? 48 to 59 hours for Sid, making it happen over there. Enjoying the overtime over at Bayou Power and Light. Polsky, what up? Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for the IO. What was she asking, AJ? Alrighty, today's Ramsey show was another new show, and the hosts were Dave Ramsey. Who are you? I'm Steve. Oh, is she still watching? I'm Steve, and what am I doing? A lot of people say I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway, so I'm just, I'm on the TV, and it counts. I'm a TV star, because everybody can be these days, and so that's what I'm doing. She asked the hard-hitting questions, AJ. All right, so yeah, Dave Ramsey, main host, and the co-host was friend of the Aftershow, author of Redefining Anxiety, author of Own Your Past, Change Your Future, and Questions for Human card set, host of the John Deloney Show. It goes like this. Oh, we call him Dr. D, as you can see, but his parents named him John Deloney. Oh, he's got 2 PhDs, 2 more than me, plus he's got some other certs. John Deloney, never gonna stop, gives advice, such a brilliant mind, he always sorts it out, has the clout of the healing kind. John, woo! John Deloney. Ooh, it takes a call and then twirls his pen, and he says the day again. John Deloney, ooh, this dude has got some range. Season of change is what you're going through, says John Deloney. Never gonna stop, gives advice, such a brilliant mind, he always sorts it out, has the clout of the healing kind. John, woo! John Deloney. Yeah, I forgot the second John Deloney there, because it wasn't pulled up on the screen. Hi, AJ's daughter. Hi, thanks for saying hi to me. Oh, I said a brilliant mind, anxiety redefined, and put in a quick read by John Deloney. Wealth and Alice has to face, they didn't place, but they probably still had fun with John Deloney. Never gonna stop, gives advice, such a brilliant mind, he always sorts it out, has the clout of the healing kind. John, woo! John Deloney. John Deloney. Market report. All right, if you bye AJ. Have fun running. What up, Matt Daniels? Great singing talent, Matt Daniels said. That's how I know Matt Daniels is full of it. So, yeah. Okay, so what AJ needs to do is have his 4-year-old daughter have her own account, and that way I can get 2 subscribers, assuming he himself is subscribed, which I wouldn't count on that as well. But anyway, so the market being up today, hence the Price is Right winning sound, winning music, would mean that you have some small cap. As you can see here, it's up 1.24%. And so when average, all these numbers are average, NASDAQ up just a hair, just a little bit. And so, but when averaged out, the upside is lower, is more than the downside. So, because that's going to be like, what, 46% down if you add both these together. And so, that's why Dave says to diversify into small, mid, large cap, and international. 25% in each. In my case, I'm throwing more into large cap to try to make more bank, and that worked until the market went down. Actually, it kind of didn't work this past year when the S&P ended up beating the NASDAQ for the first time in 5 years. It had won, the NASDAQ had beat the S&P for the last 4 years before the last year. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about, because I don't. What do we got? When is that? May 17th. So that's next week. We got Walmart and the Home Depot. Got Cisco coming up, Applied Materials, Snowflake, and NVIDIA. Most followed single stocks on the Google. Amazon actually up 1.48%. And Meta Platforms Inc., the artist formerly known as Facebook, 1.32% up. Tesla, very rarely down or up, below 3%. But today it is only down, not even down a entire percent. 2% even down is the Microsoft. And the most down of these, Apple at 2.69%. And I have that story. Where do I have that story? Apple is no longer the world's most valuable company as of Wednesday. Oil giant Saudi Aramco is now the world's most valuable company. I'm assuming oil giant. Yep. Cool. So did that one. See, I'm grouping things, trying to make a better presentation for you kids. All right, so let's check the rest of the planet. Everything down in Europe, everything down in Asia. U.S. dollar on top of the euro. Japanese yen on top of the U.S. dollar. U.S. dollar up on the British pound, love. U.S. dollar up on the Canadian dollar, and the U.S. dollar up on the Australian dollar, mate. Pals in crypto. Some of them were up earlier today, but as you can see right now, all of them down. And they've had some rough issues there lately. And is that a... And I still didn't make a shortcut. I will do this right now. Let's see. That is, what did I want? S&P after hours. And I have to scroll down. to, here's what it is, the Forex, and then I will click the star and done, and there we go. So now it'll be more easily obtained. All right, so as you can see, the stock futures after hours trading is all negative for the S&P, NASDAQ, and the Dow. Let's see what stories we have from Reuters. That's a news service like Associated Press, AP. Wall Street whipsaws. S&P closes lower on worries of prolonged inflation. Producer prices decelerated in April. Tapestry, I don't know what company that is, but they apparently had upbeat Q3 results, so upbeat Q3 results. We're not in Q3, are we? May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, not quite November. I'm not quite in Q3 yet. Maybe that's supposed to be Q2. I don't know. Maybe they're on like a fiscal year or something like that. Oh, let's see. S&P and Dow ended most modestly red, but the NASDAQ eked out a modest gain. A very tiny gain, but we will take it as well as the one for the small cap. And again, that is why you diversify into not only having mutual funds at all, but then also into small, mid, large cap, and international. This gentleman is concerned about it. He's concerned. All right, nothing else we need there. This one from CNN Business. Markets now more than $7 trillion has been wiped out from the stock market this year, and we all have seen it, so we know the dealio. So nothing else we need there. This from CNBC. Tax professionals horrified by IRS decision to destroy data on 30 million filers. IRS destroyed data for an estimated 30 million filers in March 2021, according to Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration. The decision, prompted by a backlog of paper filings, has sparked anger in the tax community. Did they go to Reddit, Reddit/r/tax and go, I'm angry. It just further damages the IRS reputation in the business community and the public. So what do they do about that? About those returns? Let's see if it says what they do there. Let's see. It's tossed data for millions of taxpayers, sparking anger from the tax community. Material known as paper filed information returns in accounting parlance. It's sent yearly by employers and financial institutions and covers taxable activity. Oh, such as W-2 forms with copies sent to taxpayers and the IRS. So they were like, yeah, well, we're not going through that. The continued inability to process backlogs of paper-filed tax returns contributed to management's decision to destroy an estimated 30 million paper-filed information return documents in March 2021. So it's not actual returns, which that's good. The IRS backlog, created by years of budget cuts, understaffing, Pandy-related office closures, and added duties, is expected to clear by December. That's interesting. That would be awesome if they did that. While the report doesn't specify which information returns the agency chucked, news has triggered angry responses from tax professionals, particularly after another difficult filing season. Yeah, I mean, somebody has to, and people that work at like companies and stuff, somebody has to prepare that information to send to the IRS, and so the IRS not even going to look at it. So that's you know, you're gonna give everybody like a 0.25% off of taxes because you did that. I don't think they are. Let's see. We did Apple not being #1 company in the world anymore. This is from Tom's Hardware. AMD gained CPU share amid biggest desktop PC quarterly decline in history. It could be possibly for just low demand because of prices, which pretty much everything, not much has really gone up. Like video cards and such have been coming down lately. And they're generally the most pricey thing. If you get a motherboard that has video on it, you normally not going to have that problem. Processors aren't really that expensive. So I don't know if people just had you know more food to buy. Food costs more, and so they couldn't afford to upgrade their computer, get a new one. So we'll see if that carries over to the next quarter. But biggest desktop PC quarterly decline in history. I mean, that could also be people moving more towards laptops and tablets and such, which is fine if you're going to do laptop and tablet stuff on it. But even the so-called gaming laptops, they don't run as fast as their desktop counterparts because there's not the room in the case, and the components get hotter, and when it gets hotter, the CPU is throttled back so that it doesn't continue getting so hot. And so that happens less in a desktop system because there's more open space where it would have more air. Everything's not all compacted into that much like it is in a laptop. So I found that interesting. That just when prices were coming down, it was on video cards, it was less desktop sold. And this from CNN Business, another key inflation measure slowed in April. Let's see what it is. Producer Price Index, which we talked about earlier, which measures wholesale inflation before goods and services reach consumers, rose 11% over the 12 months ending in April, not adjusted for seasonal swings. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported Thursday with the fifth straight month of double-digit inflation. However, it was a slowdown from the revised 11.5% recorded in the year ended in March, which had been the biggest jump in prices since the data series began in November 2010. So it's slowed down just a hair, 11%, and the previous month was 11.5% of each complete year ending in that month. This is from Android Police. New beta programs for YouTube Music, Google Clock, and others will help you try bleeding edge features before anybody else. So here's how you can beta test it. I mean, sign up for them. Just a little joke, little tech joke. Unlike most other Android developers, Google likes to test the bleeding edge stuff on its apps on an A/B basis, meaning users are randomly bucketed into different groups, with each being shown a different experience. Interesting. While this may help speed up decisions in the update process, it also leads to quite a mess sometimes. Many users say they're often forced to play a Russian roulette of sorts with new features. Some changes lead to unclear intents and actions. Others just aren't desirable, and when they are, they sometimes just go away without explanation. In a possible bid to streamline this, Google's now offering dedicated betas through the Play Store for a bunch of its own apps. It's fun. Let's see, as a tester, you mostly be a version ahead of the average user and will therefore have the opportunity to try out features before they're made widely available. If you haven't received an invitation, then you can hop on by opening any of those apps' Play Store pages and scrolling down to the Join the Beta section. Alright, that's fine. Let's see, I thought it might say some of the features, but no, it just shows that's where you can just download them. Yep. So no actual information. All right. That's all the news for today. Not a good news day. At least not the stuff that I could find. I looked at regular news as well. A lot of politics. Not really stuff that's interesting. Go to reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey and sort by new, and this is what we do here. Let's see. Fake hatchback. Can someone help me understand this damn? I came across this clip and found it how many dots? 5 dots. Confusing. The host appeared to openly mock FOMO homebuyers. What's wrong with that? But both hosts then conclude that home prices are very likely to not only not go down, but keep going up. Immediately after saying this, they say that people should relax because this is all temporary. They point blank state how much homes have appreciated in a matter of months, years, and then they say this is all temporary. Not a point where I genuinely understand how anyone making the same amount of money as me or less could follow Dave Ramsey's advice on housing. I'm not even sure what his advice is, as he says it's not a bubble, but that it's also temporary. Does this make sense to anyone? A bubble implies that it's going to burst. Temporary rise means it's rising temporarily, but it's going to stop and like plateau out, may go down a little bit as the interest rates go up. But it's not, it's not going to crash, I don't think. Nobody knows, and so that's why you don't time it, but yeah, the fear, you shouldn't do anything based on the fear of missing out. Should not do anything based on that. And so, there you go, fake hatchback. How many? 10 comments on that, so I'm sure they all had fun with that. I'm sure some of them agreed with the commenter. Let's see. Did you hear? Let's see if there's some more rudeness or trolling coming. If you put the no rudeness or trolling, you can be sure that it's coming then. Watched every day, but thought it was interesting how they uploaded a video on what he got right about the pandemic, but deleted videos about what he was incorrect with. How do you know they did that? Or when he mocked a tornado warning and dozen people died, gamblers only count their wins, THEIR, and bury their losses. I would have deleted that video too. That was just bad timing on that, because a lot of times the warning, you don't get anything, and just the people going crazy when you get warnings and such like that ahead of time, as far as like cleaning out the stores and so forth. So he made jokes about that, and then and unfortunately there were deaths after that one. So it's not surprising that they would put it out there, but so many people are so upset about what happens on this radio show that is also on the YouTubes. People are so upset. Like people trying to just explain it to me. I don't understand. It's because he's not saying what you want to hear, and so you don't have to take his advice. You can just do what you want to do. You don't have to have anxiety about it and waste your time putting something on the internet which isn't going to change anybody else's mind. So yeah, I don't get that. Alrighty. I don't understand the debt leverage thing. How people love that so much, but I don't go into debt leverage chats and troll them either. All right, personal loan debt restructuring. This from Rushing85. I have about $65,000 worth of personal loans. That's a lot. All accounts are current, and my credit score doesn't matter. I took the I said it doesn't matter. The Rushing85 did not say. He said the number. I just didn't care about it. I took the personal loans out primarily to consolidate some credit card debt and have a reserve for legal fees due to my ex-wife filing for primary custody, which I've had for 7 years and don't intend on losing. All right. Of course, I'm getting offers left and right, and I can't tell what's predatory or actually advantageous. I've received. So you took out the personal loans to consolidate the credit card debt. Hopefully you cancel the credit cards instead of running them back up. And then so now you want to have a different loan to pay off that. You're just moving around. You're not doing anything. You're not paying anything off. I've received a couple offers that make sense of my limited understanding. Default probability is high, so lenders get more security from these negotiations to get their money back and reloan out the bond or whatever. All right, you don't have to worry. That doesn't have anything to do with you. They also seem too good to be true. Here are the screenshots of the offer. As I understand it, Spring Legal Group would renegotiate the terms and interest rates with my original lenders. Don't get anybody to work out to pay off your debt for you. Because what most of them do, I won't say everyone, because I don't know, but what most of them do is they keep your money and they don't send payments to the original lenders. And then they let it go into collections, and then they negotiate for it to be lower, which the lenders will do or the collection agents will do because you haven't paid in a long time. And so then they're happy to get anything, and then they will settle. But guess what? You can do that yourself. You can keep your money and not pay it. You don't have to give it to these people and pay it. Average lengths of these loans would not increase. The largest loan already has a longer term. Told us not will affect my credit. We don't care. All right. And he has something in his Google Drive for us. Let's see. The goal would be to pay them as quickly as possible, right? $6 flex room in the monthly budget. Yes. So, yeah. Let's pretend these debt restructuring options don't exist. Can you work the baby steps and pay everything off? Yes. Yes, you can. Baby steps is the way to go. 100%, no doubt about it. This Bonnie MSM, she is one of the mods. Baby step 7. And the people that run this, they are fans. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done that. And the mods never post anything like, controversial or nitpicking Dave or questioning the advice. They don't do that. Other people do. Other Redditors do, and that's the internet for you. That's Reddit for you. So that's to be expected. From Toe Local 9653, cheaper state with really good money versus expensive state with average pay questions. All right. Cheaper state with really good money versus expensive state with average pay. That seems like that's more expensive to live there and less money. So why wouldn't you just go with maybe you phrased it wrong? So I don't understand. Let's see if we can unpack it. A husband has the potential to get a job in a more expensive state that pays a very average pay, but full benefits and employer matches. Okay. So average pay, but full benefits, whatever those are, and employer matches your 401k contribution. Another opportunity he has is in a cheaper state, making a really, really good amount of money with no benefits, no 401k employer match, but it's stupid good money. What would the match amount be? what would the benefits cost you if you got, now you don't have to necessarily use, if you didn't get those benefits, you wouldn't necessarily use all those benefits. So the benefits that you would be paying for, you count those plus that match, whatever that match is, and then that's the difference between them. It's math. Let's see. Contribute to our own 401k? No. Since the employer would not provide that? No, you can't do that. The employer has to offer a 401k. You don't have that option. What you have for an option is also, what the heck is a Roth IRA? All right, that's thanks to Senator Roth and others. We have the Roth IRA, and that allows the kids of the world to save $6,000 a year. Anybody under 50, which is a kid to me, $6,000 a year, and that is post-tax. So you take that out of your check. It's taxed with your all the rest of your income, like every other percent in your paycheck is, and then you can contribute $6,000 a year, and if you're 50 or over, it's like some of us, it's $7,000 a year, and that growth is tax-free. So that's what that is. All right, but that's how you would figure out the math on that. Zero debt, excellent. Be gentle, so lost and renew. Okay, there's 12 comments, so they probably took care of her, but that's that would be the math there. That's how you would do that. You would take the 401k contribution match plus the amount of benefits that you would have to pay in the other state, and then you can compare that way, and then you compare the cost of living in the states too, so you got to average that in as well. So yeah, it's maths. Robbie P, yep, everybody's a kid almost to me. Yeah, but that's what you can get, and unfortunately there's not another tax advantage thing you can do if your employer does not offer a 401k. I mean, you can put extra like in an HSA, and there's other bit of stuff you can do, but you don't have a similar, oh, my employer doesn't offer this, so what can I put in, something that's pre-tax, $20,000. I think it's $20,500 it was raised to for 2022 is the max on the contributions per year on the 401k. And so people that work for companies that don't offer that, like myself, you do not get a similar option. There's not one. So you just have to do the Roth, and then you can do the best that you can if you make more than 15% of that. If your pay equals more than 15% of it, would equal the 6,000 or 7,000, depending on how old you are, of the Roth. Other than that, then you can do other investing. You can do a taxable brokerage account, which is a non-investment, non-retirement, investment. So yeah, so I mean, once you add it all up, probably the cheaper state with really good money will end up being a net gain there, but you would also have to factor in which one you would like better, and maybe you don't know. Alright, so the person understands the clip, he just doesn't like it. So that's your kind of trolling thing, your phrasing there. Help me understand. I don't understand. It's so confusing. Oh, so much drama. All right, let's see. Did that one? Sanity check, please. This is from Mean Refrigerator 927. These are fun usernames. 22 years old, just a baby. Debt free, have 10K saved, about to graduate next week with a starting salary of 85K, working remote, currently living at home, excellent. 6K in Roth IRA, so just started this year probably, or last. 3K in Roth 401K, all right, so they have both. 10K in emergency fund. What's next? Beef up emergency fund more? No, 10,000 is probably fine. You have to use 3 to 6 months of your expenses. If you'd rather, you can do 6 months of it. So you would take that up there, or just saving for a fat down payment. If you're going to save for a house, yeah, that would be now as well. After you complete the emergency fund. And that's baby step 3B. And you can do one of two things. You can not invest. You're already investing already, but you can stop contributions to those for 3 years while you save up a bigger down payment. Or you can do both at the same time. You can save for a fat down payment is better than a skinny one. And you can invest at the same time. You're 15%. So, while obviously continuing to contribute 15%. So if you're going to do that, then set your emergency fund and then go from there. So basically that's all. I give myself 1 year max to move out of parents' house. So you only have 1 year to save up for it. It probably won't be let's see, 85K. Living at won't have to pay rent. So that's maybe, depending on where you live, 1,000 to 2,000 rent that you're not paying times 12, so $12,000, which it depends on what kind of house you think you're going to buy. So a lot of questions there. 29 comments. He said, well, obviously continue to contribute 15% if you want to, unless you want to save up a bigger down payment. But yeah, baby steps in order. And of course, 3B is not on the sheet of baby steps. Let's see if OP gives any information. Looks like they're taking care of them though, from what I'm... Delete it. It's always interesting. Cover letter head start. We heard from that person on a question. Pointing him towards fire. Fixed income, retire early. He might not though. He might want to follow Dave's advice. Let's see. Since he's not on that subreddit, he didn't ask the question in that subreddit, so he might want to follow Dave's advice. Nager Jager. Okay. 10K EF seems sufficient. I thought so too. Single and currently living at home, but even if he had to pay rent, it sounds like 10K would be at least 3 months. And so you probably don't need, as a younger person, you probably don't need that much. So he said it was already Aragona. He said it was already 10K, so that's not beefing it up. Missed that. Bogleheads, that's some other financial thing. So was it telling you to stockpile cash or save 50-50 between 401k and Roth? Aren't very financially literate. It's not terrible advice, but it's not specific enough for building real wealth. Let's see, what does this person suggest? Contribute up to the match in your 401k, then max out Roth, and then if you still have more to reach a 15% savings rate, you contribute more to your Roth 401k before that. It's a Roth 401k. So yeah, ideally you'd max that out, which would put you at a 31% savings rate between that and your Roth. Oh, I see, because he makes more, so that would be more. Yeah, Dave would say put more than 15%, and this person totally ignores him wanting to save for a down payment. And again, then he said he wants to buy. As far as I know, he's not going to continue saving for down payment and renting in the year deadline he has set for himself. So, yeah. And did you see that last one? With current inflation, you might as well set 10% of your money on fire. You go ahead and do that. Go ahead. Stupid. Alright, did we do preview rutabaga yesterday? No, we did not. Baby step 6. What is it? Baby step 5. Baby step 6 is there right now. I don't even remember the words. That's why I have it here still. Let's see what it is. I'm blanking. 6 is to pay off your home. And I thought that was enough for that one. I didn't feel the need to go into extra. Just pay off your home. Just cash flowed the engagement ring and everything needed for that. Congratulations. On a 5 Series Beamer paid off that I want to sell, sitting at about $62K. Excellent, but I know the repairs will be here at some point, so I want to sell it and move on to electric. Currently eyeing the Ford F-150 Lightning Pro trim. I bet that's not $62K. I would be left with about $13, $15 after you include the federal. Oh, okay. After you include the tax credit. Well, you don't get that until you file. I don't think. I think that's how those work. You get those when you file. Making the right move. I don't know that you gotta get a new car. So it's baby step 6, but the questions, the what's mentioned is everything except paying off the house early, which is baby step 6. So yeah. I probably wouldn't get a brand new Ford F-150 electric vehicle. I'd probably go with the used car. Of course, I don't care about cars, so I'm a bad one to advise on that. But I don't care about like cars, and I don't have to have a new car. So, but you're not focusing on paying off the crib, which is baby step 6. So you might at least want to consider it. All right, starting a budget, evaluating costs. Is from Mike Fla, maybe Florida. Mike FL 91. My wife and I, that should be, graduated with bachelor's degrees this past weekend. Congratulations. In the same week, I started a new position, corporate recruiter. Interesting. That was related to my field of study, business law. My wife doesn't yet have a position, but is passively looking for a position. Interesting. We want to get debt-free, mostly debt-free. I guess that's debt-free or mostly debt-free. And then buy a house. Love Dave's show and advice, but I don't agree about this part, but I'm going to ask in the Dave Ramsey subreddit anyway. But I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the FHA route. Ultimately, my debt liabilities are as follows. 2021 Civic, 21K, student loan, 42, 57K in additional student debt and wife student debt. Collection debt, T-Mobile, $5,000, 5 years old, got friends and family phones, 8 in total. Nobody helped pay the bills after a few months. Lesson learned. Huh. So is that, if that's 5 years old, are you just paying it off $10 at a time or something, and it's not in collections or anything? Prior apartment debt, $1,200 for damages. Okay. I guess you didn't have $1,200, what's that called, deposit? No credit card debt, only using secured cards for right now. You don't even need to do that. Income, 45K base salary, 22K bonus, side income, goal of $350 per week. Okay, so the basic math, liabilities are $2,830, income equal to $5,150. As I don't think it's wise to count bonuses until they actually appear. That's good. That's good thinking. Plan on taxing collection debts first. Nope. You do current debt first, and then you worry about collection debts later, because those are already in collections. They're already dinging you, so you don't need to worry about those. So You do the current debts first. Do you think it'd be wise to pay off student loan debt in total before trying to buy a house? Yes. Dave does not recommend you buy a house while you have consumer debt. I'll be attending law school in 2023, so ideally I'd like to buy a house before starting. How we paying for law school there, dog? So, and starting a budget. So you want a budget? When you have all that stuff going on? That's a lot to unpack right there. But basically, the answer is, as usual, baby steps. Smallest to largest. You pay the current debt first before the collection debt. And then you can settle on the collection debt afterwards. So you pay that first, but that's not monthly liabilities. They're just monthly costs. They have monthly bills, the loan payments. I see. You definitely want to get rid of the car payment. Then you don't have that $525 payment. $225 for the insurance. Yeah, so this would go in all this stuff would go, the phone bill, the food, is it just you guys? 300? Yeah, all right. For food, okay. 1,500, utilities included. Okay, so this would be this would be the stuff that would be in your budget as well as other things as well. So yeah, but he's all over the place with all kinds of different ideas and such. And baby steps first, and also don't buy a house while you have other debt, because then you have the added ability, especially doing FHA. The home could own you, and then don't buy too much house as well. Okay, we did that one. Let's see what people want to bitch about that. Let's see. Rachel mentioned some studies about the causal impact of living together prior to marriage and divorce rates, forgetting to mention that there are strong selection effects that aren't being considered in those studies. In fact, more recent studies have found little correlation between those two things, but the studies that she mentioned, it didn't. So what's the problem? She mentioned those studies. Late Penn says she's growing on Late Penn there. And that's why, that's why we all watch Rachel Cruz. Yeah. Alright, Dave Ramsey, influencer YouTuber, mocks a 16-year-old kid who wants to be an influencer and YouTuber. That's because you can't make money with it. It's going to be, it's a, one out of a million or something like that, where you can even make a couple bucks. Some people don't make anything on YouTube or trying to be an influencer or on social media or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, you will make more money if you go take a minimum wage job somewhere than if you start out and then nothing happens. I mean, you can try it in your downtime. That's no problem. Try it in your downtime, and then if it takes off, then you'll be good to go. And I'm sure Dave would say, "Good job, got it worked out for you." But I don't think Dave is more of a teacher than an influencer. I mean, if he influences you to do baby steps, then fine. Call him an influencer. They do make money from YouTube ad revenue, but that show is a radio show still, and I'm sure they make more money from the radio. So yeah, so I don't think that. So the depths of his hypocrisy are actually impressive. So people just bitching about him. Also, kids at 16 come up with all sorts of ideas they want to explore. Gaming and YouTube are good examples. Come back to me if they're 25 and living in their parents' basement, trying to earn money in YouTube. Yeah. Choo. All right. That'll do it for today. Coming up on the top of the hour. Might start Last of Us 2 tonight, maybe. Upcoming streams we have. Let's see if we got another subscriber. Let's see if AJ's daughter subscribed, if he made her a Google account. Did not. So, did not make his daughter. His daughter should subscribe to me. She can be my biggest fan. Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this show, the Ramsey Show After Show. Mondays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Tech support with Coach Steve Money. I'm going to, let's see, I might work on the Curse of Oak Island Companion Show recap. The one that aired on Tuesday night. So might do that. Or save it for the weekend, perhaps. Wednesdays and Saturday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The scheduled Old Man Video Gaming, which last night's was late. It was more like 11 p.m. But that was unavoidable. But I did get that in. And I do a bunch of non-scheduled Old Man Video Gamings as well. And like I said, I'll be starting, if not today, probably tomorrow, starting The Last of Us 2. I recently completed on there, on the YouTube. I completed, that's the conclusion of the first Last of Us game right there. And that's me failing a bunch right at that point before I completed it. And then I played Last of Us Left Behind. That was a side story. That was extra. Like you can't like play it while you're playing the other one. You have to start that separately, but it takes place at a time inside the first game. And also it flashes back to when Ellie is a little bit younger. And so you get to play as her the whole time. And Left Behind, setting you up for Last of Us 2. And so, like I said, we'll be starting that soon. Alrighty, so let's do plugs. Plug time. Plugs. Plugs are up at the top of the chat. Link as handy links. They're also in the video description below, and they are on the right side of my YouTube banner. You can schedule a free financial consultation assessment with me. I am Coach Steve Money. My real name is Steve Simpson. I'm too hip for the N. I don't know why that's there. I think I used it to sign up for this. I just typed it in, but I'm normally too hip for the N. So, but I am a certified Ramsey Solutions financial coach, and you click on the financial coaching consultation right there, and that'll take you to calendar. You can pick your date and pick the time you want, and then Calendly will let me know when you would like that consultation, and I will email you back to let you know what information I need from you in order to accurately assess you. PayPal, that's for donations. That's paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. Instagram is Coach Steve Money. No spaces. Add me on the gram. And what else? Oh, email is CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com, and you can email me about anything, about my Aftershow show, about Ramsey stuff, about Oak Island, about video gaming, about computer stuff, about the songs I've written, about the Ramsey baby steps and personalities, and there's highlights. There's a bunch of other playlists on there too that are not on the top because I have some clips from podcasts and movies. Need to add to that. I'll be adding to that slowly over time. A bunch of other ones in here as well, so we can talk about any of that. And also, if you would like to sing the baby step song, let me know. You can pre-record it, and I can just play the recording on here, or you can do it live. We do have the technology to do that. Alrighty. Okay. Alright, it's after the hour. So everybody have a wonderful, wonderful night, and tomorrow is Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. And everybody, make smart financial decisions every day.